everybody, and welcome to my Minecraft survival world. I don't show it too often, but over the past 2 years, I have been slowly but surely building up this world. And yes, 2 full years. Some people like restarting their worlds often, but I like seeing how stuff changes over the years. And so today, for the first time in history, I'm doing a world tour. You heard that right. You're going to be able to see everything I've done and everything I haven't done. Like catch a fish. 2 years and I've never used a fishing rod properly. As you can see from my stats menu, I've broken 3 fishing rods. So I must have used them. Yeah, I've used them 54 times, it says. That's a lot of fishing rods. And I've just now caught a fish. I plan on going to everything, but let's start out where the world started, at spawn. Now it may be hard to believe, but this spawn area did not look like this 2 years ago. And in fact, it didn't even look like this a week ago. This entire path here was done in about a week. Yeah, I realized that the path that was there didn't look the greatest, and I thought it needed a bit of a revamp, so I did that for the 2-year anniversary. It's my little gift to the world. So yeah, here we have the entrance to my main base. It's a cave base, but you may realize one fatal flaw. It is in a mountain, which is a pretty big deal when you only want to live underground, but we'll get to that in a second. This is my real first base. This is where I grew my first sugar cane, kept my first horse, and this came a lot later though. And this is where I still grow spruce trees. Yep, the original cactus farm is still going at full force. It's completely manual, but it's fine. But yeah, coming up from spawn on this path was actually a really big pain to make because it's such a steep incline, but I made it work. So entering the base, finally, we have this nice little entrance place. Not a huge fan of it, but it served me well these past years. And of course we got the staircase down because right above this is just open air. We have my main nether portal, we have the bee farms, and of course we have my first horse, Greg Horse. He is my original horse that I found really early on. And I still have him. He was in that hole for like a year and a half though. And another thing that's constantly in my base is unsorted shulker boxes. And chests. I just can't seem to organize them. And I do have a storage system. But yeah, we have the villager system. It's very ethical. And this minecart rail just brings them to the trading area, which we will get to. And of course, every good world needs a library. And we have a little book that explains stuff about the world. I'm just gonna scroll through here. You can pause if you'd like. There we go. And we got a bunch of epic books. What's this one say? Oh yeah, this is my Minecraft updates ranked, with Minecraft 1.18 being the best and 1.2 being the worst. And then over here we have my Minecraft build project plans. Some of this we'll see in progress, but you know, some of that's just dreams for now. I should also say that this little horse pen, this library, oh, I broke that, and this restocking station came much later than this part of the base. This is the original part of the base. Nothing has changed with it pretty much in 2 years. But yeah, this is my little restocking place. If I'm low on carrots, I can click the note block and they get spat out of a little bubble column. It was a kind of tight space because I got a build right under there and the droppers kind of interfered with that, so it's a weird system. It doesn't work exactly as I want it to, but it does still work. And this is the storage for the honeycomb farm, and any good farm has a redstone access, so I can just do that from here. It hasn't been running in quite a while, but I have basically a lifetime supply of honeycomb at this point. Coming out of this door leads you to a terrace? Is that what this is called, kinda? I don't know what it is. It's just a little green area. I used to have my horses up here, but I've since moved them. And then this goes down and connects with the path. But coming back inside, you will see the world map. This was updated quite a while ago. You'll see the most notable difference is that the ocean monument base, which we'll get to, is just, you know, not even in a finished state whatsoever. I think it might be fully dug out, but I have no idea. So yeah, coming down here, we have our first decisions to make. We can go down here, we can go down here, or we could go in here. um, Before we do that though, little quirky thing about this door. It should be impossible. I'm pulling blocks into the ceiling, but if you'll notice, I don't have enough room for that. But that's where these moss carpets come into play. Um, I had to put these here because the redstone just... I don't want that as a floor, you know. It'd be cool, but it wouldn't go with the base. And that's just kind of how close the redstone ended up being. Because I put this door in here for my villagers. Because I don't want them to get zombied, you know. Without really considering the space constraints. But I did make it work. I did make it work. And it's a pretty cool door, if I do say so myself. And this is my villager's setup. It's not well decorated. But that's because I'm too scared to decorate stuff, because I don't want these guys to escape. I got some pretty good trades. I got a wide variety of books. And because, you know, stone generation is so easy, I can trade one stone for one emerald and get insanely rich until they raise their prices, and I can't trade for them for a while. But it's fine. I think I also have some iron golems trapped in the floor somewhere, but, you know, I don't want to go look for them. But leaving here, we have the honey bottle farm, which is broken currently because I haven't restocked it in a while. But it produces so much, and I don't even have to do anything. We also have our cats, Mittens and Jelly. And going this way because it has the least amount of stuff. I might show some screenshots of this, and also of other things throughout the video. But this has changed the very most in the past 2 years. It did not used to look like this. It used to look a lot worse. Because my base plan had a bunch of stuff branching out, but then I realized, wait a second, I'm in a mountain. That doesn't work. So I kind of gave up on that recently and just put in this tunnel. I don't really ever use the bridge. I just kind of fly through it, which is pretty fun, honestly. Again, a bunch of unsorted shulker boxes. The previous room was built mostly out of stripped oak wood, and I've just been keeping it here and using it as wood reserves for the past few months. I'm making a dent in it, but it's slow progress. Also, out here used to be a wheat farm, but of course it no longer is a wheat farm because the path exists, but we still have... Oh! Ooh! Calibrated smoke sensors. I did not know those were in there. This one has the seed storage, I guess. But that wheat farm was mostly just for decoration because the real farms are down here. We have our mangrove, whatever it's called, propagule farm right here. Pretty cool. Our cocoa bean farm, and our AFK crop farm. I would show you, but I don't have anything on me. It's a simple auto farm, basically. But what's not simple is this moss farm. There's farms, I'll try to mention who made them, if I didn't make them. And if I didn't mention it, that doesn't mean I made it. That means just probably forgot. But there are a few farms that I handmade. So yes, this moss farm is made by Ethos Lab. He made it in Hermitcraft, and I was like, wow, I need a moss farm. This one looks pretty simple to make. And so I did that. And then I also made 4 of it, and hooked them all together, and made a pretty cool item transfer thing. I like it. It works for me. Might not be the most efficient, but it's enough. And recently, they added this, of my own design. Yep, yep. And it just lets me like choose which items I want to harvest. Currently it's in moss mode because I needed a lot of moss for the path. And I've emptied it pretty good. But going back up. Ooh, no. Ooh, no. Going back up, we have this little area, which was supposed to be my storage system. It was just going to be a bunch of chests, and the cool thing about it was that it was going to have a flower farm as its floor. Because I have grass as my floor in most places, so, you know, a flower farm floor was pretty cool. However, once I realized that over here would not be a good way to expand, I was kind of forced to get rid of that. And I'm so glad I did. Because now it's this beautiful cave. I feel like it's a lot darker than usual down there, but it's still pretty beautiful. I got my azalea leaves, my dripstones, random grass blocks. I even have a secret room. Oh, I missed it. I even have a secret room. Nice. My original plan for this was to have this waterfall flow all throughout the base. And that is still my plan, but it's just gotten a bit more difficult to integrate it. And of course, we do have this llama here. He's hooked up to the lead, but I was worried that he might, like, run away, so I surrounded him in sweet berries, so he can never escape. It's kind of hidden from view over here, but if you go over here, you can find my fungus farm. This is also a pretty recent addition. A while ago I went around changing a bunch of things to my base. Not too much, but, you know, just all the stuff that didn't quite fit, and just like all the rest, it looks amazing. It might be my favorite, or second favorite build. That tunnel over there is pretty cool. Oh, I broke that. Yeah, you just put in bone meal into these barrels, and then press this button, and it just makes a whole lot of fungus. This was especially useful back when I had another tree farm, but I ripped out that part of the base with the revamps. And it might be coming back soon, who knows. But going down here, we have one of our biggest patches of shulker boxes. I know that these are like full of fire res, and these ones are full of iron, I think. Yeah, so that's already 4 that I already know exactly what's in. But these other ones, not so much. If I wish the shulker boxes weren't here, but if I move them, I'm gonna lose them. But one of my favorite bits of my base is this little staircase here, and how it just has a passageway through it. I just think that's something about it. It's really cool. And there's also like a little water spout, again continuing from the lake above. It might actually be connected. Wait, is it? Oh no, it isn't. I think it used to be, but now there's redstone behind here, which I'll show you in a bit. That kind of made that not really possible. So the flower farm right above this might be one of the coolest parts of the base, looks-wise. But this is one of my least favorite parts. It's a cool design. I just don't really think it fits the greatest. Same with this. Ooh, I just flew. Same with this little gateway here. But at least the gateway has like those naturey elements around it. This is just a box plonked right here. So I might redo this eventually, but currently it's not a huge deal. But yeah, this is my enchanting room. I have a wall for all the enchantments, and that's really why this room is actually so big. It's because I wanted to keep all the enchantments in here on one wall. Maybe a bit silly, but I do have a lot of enchantment books. And I also have an unreasonable amount of soul speed, and a normal amount of swift sneak. And we have the enchantment table, which I don't use much over here because I never have enough levels, so I use the one at my XP farm. But, you know, it's good to have, it's good to have. What's also good to have, but serves equally the same purpose, of not really being used all that often, is the actual storage system. And this is definitely the biggest shulker box mess in my entire world. When I was transferring items from my Ocean Monument base, I kind of got a little bit lazy, and put all the full shulker boxes in the machine, but I just kind of left all the assorted ones just out here. Like, who needs all these eggs? I think there's one with even more. Yep, there we go. There's the egg shulker. Who needs that many items? Not me. I haven't used any of those eggs ever, but maybe one day. And this is my storage system. I guess I could trial it. Let's see. What should we sort for? What do I definitely have in here? Iron. I think I have iron in here. So what it does is it takes all these shulker boxes from here, or I guess you can see it draining right here, and it just basically compares them with Hopper Magic item sorter stuff to see which shulker boxes have certain items, and if it does, it ends up in this dispenser. While that thing is sorting, let me show you one of the projects I wanted to do so much. I can just never bring myself to do it because it's kind of pointless. It's a boat race mini game where there's a bunch of obstacles and you try to go through it, which would be very fun on a multiplayer server. But I don't play this world on a multiplayer server. No, no. Completely survival and single player, so it's kind of useless. I might get around to it eventually, but currently this is just where I grow azalea trees sometimes. Also, I keep forgetting to fill in these honey blocks, so if I ever want to leave, I just kind of do that. Take a few hearts usually, but it works. Okay, the system is off, and no iron ingots. Okay. I might have stored all my stuff in... I might have stored it all in iron blocks. Well, that's unfortunate. I should also say that this whole area over here, used to be something completely else. Used to be where I keep my llamas, my nether tree farm. That was still my storage system. But getting to it was a whole lot different. There used to be a sugarcane farm here. I ripped that all out and just made it more open cave. Because for a while I had a problem where it's a cave base, you know, but it wasn't there was no stone really at that point. It was underground, if anything. We have my little hangout spot, so while the storage system is running, I can just sit here and vibe. And from the other side, the structure doesn't look half bad. I'm thinking about maybe extending this downward and having an underwater part of my base, but I don't know. And this is the ultimate super smelter. I have a bunch of glass in here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah, just a simple super smelter, really. The simplest it can get. And here we have a pretty cool part of our world, okay? Pretty unsuspecting, but if you shoot the door, it opens. Yeah, so I have a smoke sensor right below me that detects, bow usage. I don't even have to shoot it. I can just take it really quick. And boom. And through the diamond door we have where I would put my dragon egg if I trusted myself placing it down in the world. Got a music disc. I got the t-shirt from Diversity 3 at the end of it. That just tells you how long I've had this around. I thought that was a cool thing to add. Because I had just played it. And then this is the fish that my pet cat dropped. Rest in peace. And here I have my armor. So for a while, like a year or so ago maybe, I thought, you know, surviving with netherite is easy. That's the one thing I don't want. Surviving in Minecraft is easy work with netherite. So, let me use chainmail, and it looks pretty cool. And for a while, that's all I did. But then I thought that was too easy, so I got leather armor, and it looks pretty cool. I got those trims. I wanted to use something other than silence, because that's the one all the people who have silence use, because, you know, it's the rarest, why wouldn't you? But it just so happens that with leather armor, all those random leathery spots, I didn't want them there, but there's a lot of them, so the only real way to get rid of that was with the silence trim, because it, you know, it covers up the most part of the armor. And I think I'm gonna be using that for most of this tour now, because I like it, and You know, it's fun. It's a little fun thing for the tour. I do have a totem because I don't want to die. Also, if you look at quick little side note, but if you look at my number of deaths, it's only 14. And for a while, it was at 1. My second death took a while. My first death was pretty embarrassing. I fell off of a cliff that I didn't even see was there because I was going to find spruce because I love spruce, and I just fell into a dripstone cave and instantly died. I was able to get back, surprisingly. I did find my way back, but that was my first death. Pretty embarrassing. Scrolling through my stats trying to find it, I found out that I've flowed a whole lot with my Elytra. If I'm not mistaken, that is 16 million blocks with my Elytra. That's halfway to the world border in 2 years. And I've taken 100,000 or so damage. But I've also dealt 1.36 million damage. I'm pretty sure most of that is from my Wither Skeleton farm, but we'll get to that. And yeah, this little path connects back to this room. Okay, you're still awake? We're almost through this base. And here we have a little viewing window for the moss farm. And we can actually turn it on from here. You just click this note block. You'll find that most of my stuff in this world is controlled by note blocks, which is why I have an insanely high note blocks clicked stat. So how this farm works is basically moss just gets generated by bone mealing that block. It spreads to the rest, and then stone gets generated and pushes it, and when it does, it breaks off, and then water pushes it into the storage system down there. Oh yeah, I also just forgot that storage system was also made by Etho. You'll find that a lot of the things in the world are, but this is my sheep farm. It's got all 16 colors of sheep, and I think it's now out of shears after about 1.5 years of running about. Yeah, it's completely out. But I still have a lot of wool reserves for most colors. Another thing that you'll find with this world is that I love my hidden storage. It's usually just hidden behind a little pull-away block. And then if you follow this pathway, and the reason why this pathway is so weird and turns a lot is because the treasure room is right here. That's like the wall and the ceiling of it. And following this path, brings us to the Sniffer farm. You got Spotty, you got Sniffy, you got Spiffy, you got Dotty, because the eggs are Dotty, and you got Stuffy. Are there any more? I think there's one more. Steppy, yes, that's what I forgot. Basically, they can dig for seeds in the mud, and when they do a bunch of hoppers beneath that, oh, I can't get out. Bunch of hoppers beneath that, bring all the drops to this little barrel. And just as proof for how long this takes to actually grow, I've been in this area for a full week working on this, and I've barely got any seeds. But I think that is all for this base. Now on to the next one. Yeah, we've got a system, teleporting systems that just click the note. I just click with a button, go there pretty quick, pretty much instant, actually, because it functions off of retracting pistons, which are instant. You can break through here. The redstone here used to be a lot more complicated, and then I realized it doesn't need to be. So I simplified it greatly recently. When I added the second line here, I know you're all probably wondering what's out there, but first we have to do a little history lesson. So this is the original, search engine type shulker box storage system. But a little problem with it was that it always broke and lost me a bunch of shulker boxes. I still don't know all the items that I've lost, but I know for a fact I've lost a bunch. Because I ran this several dozen times, and the bug happened pretty much every single time that I had checked if it did. I'm not going to explain this because it's out of my field, and if I try to explain it, it's just going to be more confusing than it actually is. Basically, same thing as the other one, it just tests to see if an item is in a certain shulker box, And instead of giving you a full shulker box like the new system, it takes out those items, which I think was causing the shulkers to get stuck and then somehow popping out of the farm and not ever getting picked up. So I've lost a lot of items to that, but it's fine. And then coming down here, we have my bulk storage system, which again was when that system was relevant. I still keep a bunch of stuff down here because I have way too many frog lights. No crying obsidian actually. I do have some of that in here. A lot of nether bricks. Ooh, that's a lot of blackstone. I should probably still have a big, bulk storage system somewhere near my new actual storage, because putting in full shulkers of stuff is just kind of, I mean, it's fine, but it's kind of a waste of, like, a limited amount of double chests. I don't know. Again, another hidden door, and then that pops out. But this isn't bound to that. Unless you hit this pressure plate, the door up here doesn't trigger. So I have as much time as I want. So I have a limited amount of time to get in there, but I have as much time as I want to actually go up the elevator. And then leaving here, we have the Ocean Monument. You might be thinking, there's no Ocean Monument here. And there's barely even an ocean here, But no, this is a 256 diameter giant circle in the ocean. It is the despawn sphere for hostile mobs. So if I'm standing here at the middle, and all the caves below are lit up properly, which they aren't, haven't gotten around to that, a lot of things spawn. If I'm up in the air, the caves are unloaded, so it does work out pretty well that every time I fly down here, there's a stable stock of guardians, but eventually it slows down and I have to go up. Oh, despawn all the caves by just flying up here, and then rocket down, hopefully don't die. Ooh, I'm coming in fast. And you can already see they're already coming in pretty quickly. And yeah, pretty easy. And then we have the little storage chests for the Guardian farm. Unfortunately, I've never actually upgraded these, so these are just, it's just two double chests. Down here we have the blast chamber, which I have not used in quite a while because I haven't needed to. I don't like duplicating TNT. Not a huge fan of it, but up above there's a lot of concrete, so if I ever wanted to get it done, this is kind of the only way to. I'm probably not going to use this system once 1.21 and the Ender Breaker gets introduced. By the way, I'm still working on that. That'll be released eventually. But yeah, just a simple blast chamber. Pretty standard stuff here. And then we have the most important farm in the whole world, the stone farm. Which may sound ironic, but it is not. This is actually pretty useful. Again, I can trade 1 stone for an emerald. So this is like, imagine all this in emeralds. That's what I can get if I cared to move it, which I don't. So yeah, that's the Guardian farm. Part of the Guardian farm. It was designed, I'm pretty sure, by Iscal85 in Hermitcraft Season 6. And up here, we have the Creeper farm. This, I've only ran twice. And that's not because I don't use rockets a whole lot. I use rockets constantly. Over the past week of building that path over there on the mountain, I've gone through like 3 or 4 shulker boxes of rockets. It's insane. But I've only had to, I didn't even have to AFK the second time. I just did. So I wanted to test out the sugarcane farm, which we'll get to right now. Now a smart person might say that having your gunpowder and sugarcane farms up in the sky, only available by Elytra, is not the best thing to do. So if you run out of rockets, you can't get up. But I say to that, I didn't think of that. So that's why we have these up here. Got sugarcane galore. That was actually pretty empty. This one has a bunch of sugarcane. Nice. And then of course we have the iron farm, which I always forget to clean out, so it's currently just full and not actually producing anything. But you know, I don't need iron too often. I have that entire multiple shulker boxes laying around at my base. The eagle-eyed viewer among you may notice there's a bunch of numbers all over my base. Why are there a bunch of numbers? Well, it may surprise you to know that this base took me like a year and a half, basically. Yeah, I finished it last December, and there's one very important reason why I had to finish it in December. That's because this was for a school project. Yes, yes. Um, Anybody who's ever done anything with like upper level maths will know this is a unit circle. Um, yeah, we had to do a school project where we made our own creative interpretation of the unit circle, and I thought, wait a second, I have a giant circle in my Minecraft world that needs to get finished. This project needs to get done eventually, and it's never gonna get done unless I have a deadline that I can't move myself. I can make a deadline, but I can't follow my own deadlines. So I did that, and I turned it in, and I got a 100. Imagine if I put all this work in. I made a cinematic video for it, and imagine if he was like, "No, you get a B plus." Ah, but no, and this is it in all of its glory. And the angles are correct. I did the whole lining up the coordinates thing. Some of them didn't line up exactly, but they're pretty close. And this is my biggest Minecraft project ever. It's kind of just now setting in just how giant this is now that I'm showing it off. Because usually I fly around it, but I don't take in just how big it actually is. This is like this is like one quarter of what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to go all the way down to bedrock, but I did not want to dedicate 2 months of my life digging and using TNT to blast through all the way to bedrock. Especially with the increased depth limit, you know, that would be a lot. I just really didn't want to do that, so eventually maybe this goes downwards more, but for now it's gonna stay how it is. Also, another interesting thing, I don't know if this happens in anybody else's Minecraft worlds, but I have these Endermen here. They've been here from the beginning. I have screenshots. There's just so many of them. What are they doing here? And how do they, I don't think they despawn on vines. And I have a huge problem with vines growing literally everywhere. And I also think they don't despawn if they're holding stuff. Oh yeah, so that I don't think they can teleport if they're in vines. And they don't despawn if they're holding stuff, I don't think. Which means they just stay there forever. So yeah, down here, I was lighting this up because I was making, you know, the path up there. And I come over here. And what do I find? Nah, I'm not gonna look at that. Because I know they'll kill me if I do that. But if you look at the entity counter, 85, I look away, 30. There's 50-something Endermen in there, I would say. I can't check, I don't know how I would, but they're just in there. They're making an Enderman circle. Yeah, basically, Enderman griefing still turned on in this world because it's vanilla game rules. And they just tear apart my world. I've got caves that are just full of stray blocks. It's insane what they can do, okay? Never underestimate an Enderman, let alone several of them. We're going to continue on here in the overworld with, of course, the thing that you've all been waiting for, the path. The original path started from up here, went along this way, went along that way. It's just this normal path. You know, I didn't have anything fancy back in the day. This path was here to get me from spawn to a desert village that I had. Because that was the closest village to me that I knew of. I think there might be one closer, but it's really annoying to get to, so, you know, this flatland one worked pretty well. So yeah, that's the path I've been talking about, and that's the thing that took me a full week to complete. I wish, but no, I spent a week making, I I can't, how do I really show it in its full magnitude? This! All the way up there. All the way down here. Through here. Looping back on itself. Again and again. Down here. And that's where it ends. And it still keeps on going through there. Um... I'm so tired. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm so glad I am glad this project is over. But I did have a lot of fun making it. And it's almost completely hollow. Um, so funny story about this path. If you've ever seen any of my YouTube shorts, you might have noticed that this path wasn't here, and there used to be a different thing right here again, the wheat farm. But I made some custom terrain for that. Oh, that is the wrong block. That just. Oh yeah, I can't. I Enderman proofed everything. All the dirt. Come down here. This is the underneath of my base, of my terraforming. Again, there's a lot of Endermen in here. Some of them have trapped themselves like that, but and here is some of the last remaining remnants of the path itself. You got these mud bricks. If we dig through here, we have the old exterior of the mountain, or I guess the new old. This is the actual terrain. This all used to be jungle. I burnt it all down, so I didn't really care for chopping down all those trees. I built this above it, and then I built new terrain above that. Maybe one day I might build even newer terrain above the new stuff. So yeah, we have the path line that I lined out, still here in purple and pink wool. Stands out nice, pretty cool. Yeah, this is the old path that came down. It follows roughly the same shape, but in order for it to actually work, I had to add a bunch of twists and turns, which I think ended up pretty well. Some people say you should fill in your Minecraft builds always, but I say that it's really cool to look at them when they're not. Also, this sheep has been here for quite a while. I think this is one of my original wool farm sheets that I kept up in the green area, and then just never, you know, killed, I guess, or put into the farm. So he now roams free in here. You know, it's better than out there, because out there wolves can get him. And my sword, but down there, I'm never gonna go down there to get him. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna walk this path, show you the nice views. What I tried to do was make sure that I block most of the view of the mesa biome. I think I did a pretty good job, all things considered. Right here, yeah, it got a pretty big window to it, but I think that's pretty much the only big window that you really get. Besides maybe that again, but that's pretty small. And a thing I did, you might have noticed down there, I planned out all these boulders in stone. So basically, I built them twice. Once when I actually planned them out with stone, and another time when I actually textured them. And funny enough, right as I get to the texture them part, these ones are not as textured because I forgot to do them, but I think I did not add andesite to this one, okay. But I did add them to these two. Yeah, coming down here we have the horse area. This will get redone fairly soon, I think, because, you know, it kind of looks weird right next to these big cliffs, and it's just this. So that'll be done eventually, but eventually is not today, or maybe anytime soon. But I have some pretty good horses. I also got some donkeys. I think this might be my fastest horse. I timed them with this system, and the first number is how many stacks of items the timer counts, and the second number is the amount of excess items. So this is a 159 horse, and he's of course wearing the certified fast boy armor. And then we have the world famous horse Max Jumper. Yeah, some of them are pretty slow, like this one. I say slow, but this is actually pretty fast. I put them through cobwebs, so like a small difference in time is pretty much nothing. And these ocelots always activate my timer, so I just hear clicking constantly. But coming across this bridge, we have the mesa biome. And I think I'm gonna do some like comparison replay shots at some point. And you might realize that this is not supposed to be a mesa biome. Even if you look at F3, you can see. Oh, take a screenshot. If you look at F3, you can see this is a jungle biome, but I didn't want it to be, so I turned it into a mesa biome. I have a little bridge over to here, and it just goes down into a cave. I've never seen anybody do this little build trick, but if you put pots in terracotta, it kind of looks like cave paintings, almost. And I've got liquid gold running through here. Continuing on the original path, we are met by the Greg Horse, Bridge of Peace. He's my original horse, and I rode him across here. It's pretty cool. Every single time I wanted to go get new items and heal up my tools, I would go through here, down here. I feel like it was faster on the horse, honestly. Go down here. Maybe not the best way to get there. I would go down here, go across here, through here, continuing on this way, and there's a village over there, which I'm not gonna go to right now. Maybe later, maybe later. And it's over here that we have our squid farm. This is not like most people's squid farm. Again, this is an Eco and Cup fan design. I don't know who one of them came up with it, but they both have one and probably contributed to the design. So, oh, please tell me it's not dead. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so originally, I got a, got a guardian from my guardian farm. Because conveniently, a while ago, I had fought some withers with the end platform thing that suffocates them. But for some reason, I don't know if anybody else experiences this, but whenever I do that, it breaks stuff at spawn, which is not good because I just redid it, but and they still have their same velocity as they do in the end. So some of them wrecked my roof of my sniffer farm, and some of them went as far as destroying parts of my guardian farm, or I guess my creeper farm above it, and it caused water to leak all the way down. And then guardians were able to spawn, and so I thought, while this leak is happening, why not just take a bunch of guardians and put them in this river for squid farm? And so I did that, and they all disappeared. Or I guess I only used one at first. And I don't know if that's the original guy, but if it's not, that's really confusing, because I thought, oh, maybe he went down into these caves, so I blocked up all the caves, and I've checked all of them are blocked, and then he's just gone. I look back in the morning, because I AFK'd overnight, he's gone. Nowhere to be seen, so I just assumed he's died, and put up these guardrails, and put 3 more guys. I AFK overnight, it works great. I AFK overnight again, they're gone. I don't know where they went. They must have died. I found this guy all the way over, where is it? Over here a few days ago. Just randomly. I don't even know what I was doing. I was just flying around, and I had looked for him everywhere for a while. Everywhere I thought he could be, and he was just hiding over there. And so I did what any sane person would do, and loaded up an old copy of The World, and I gave the glowing effect to all guardians, and none of them showed up. So they're definitely dead. But this guy somehow is still around. I have no idea what happened to the others. And down here we have the cave spider farm. It's nothing much from upstairs, but, it's a cave spider farm, what do you expect? Oh, thief! Thief! Oh my gosh, he stole my dirt block! I don't even think I have too many dirt blocks in this whole build. I think I just killed that man for no reason. Okay, we got one more place to visit in the overworld. This one's pretty far away. Does it not work? I don't think it works. I think I gotta up my render distance. I turned down my render distance to record because pretty big world file. Is it not gonna work? Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work exactly as I want it to. We push that button, go there, and I have a new base. And it's a Now it's a base. I don't know if it looks the greatest, but it's definitely a work in progress. I got a little place to grow trees up here. I got a cool little staircase for going up, I guess. And I have this cool little building. I don't know what it's for again, but it's cool. It goes up here, then it abruptly ends. And this is our Nether hub. Um, kind of. This is just kind of a giant crying obsidian circle I made. These are the 4 portals of my guardian farm place, and this is my mountain base. So the path would be like here, and the mesa biome would be probably about here. I wanted to do a world map, but mining all this crying obsidian will be a pain, so I'm not going to do that actually. Probably ever, because I made this awful decision to put crying obsidian, which is actually pretty cool, but if I ever want to remove it, I just can't. So yeah, I blasted a hole in the bedrock ceiling, because of course I did. And a while ago, I made this nether tunnel system thingy. Normally I don't go exploring out too far because I want to wait for new updates, but if I do, and I somehow can't get to the nether roof, I just find one of these pathways, which is pretty useful for every single direction except for east. This tunnel goes a ways away. I don't know how far it goes, but I'm not gonna fly all the way down there. It's a ways. I end up dying at the end because there's Enderman and magma cubes, and those are my arch nemesis. Ooh. Die! I want to show people stuff. Okay, so all throughout my world, for Halloween, there's those pumpkin mobs that spawn, and down there you can see a jack-o'-lantern mob. So for Halloween, instead of doing fun stuff, no, I played Minecraft. Up until the event ended, and I could never, oh my gosh, that was dangerous. Up until I couldn't get them anymore, I farmed these guys, and I think I got one of every single mob, except maybe a zombie villager. I've got zombie pig in there, and I even have, in this box over here, haven't touched it since, because I am terrified that a gas is going to destroy it. I should probably not even get anywhere near it, but in that box, down there, is a baby zombie piglin with a jack-o'-lantern head. Which, if I'm not mistaken, it's one of the rarest, if not the rarest, jack-o'-lantern mob, which is pretty cool. I was gonna do something with all the jack-o'-lantern guys, but haven't gotten around to it, of course. Which is the story for most of the stuff in this world. But anyway, we now have the piglin farm, or I guess the piglin bartering farm. Now, there's one very simple way to tell if anything is like a definite me built thing. It uses a bunch of weird mechanics, usually, that no one would ever use because there's probably a much better way to do it. I didn't want to use a tutorial for this. I wanted to use my own Minecraft knowledge for this farm. I had used one before, but it wasn't the greatest. It just functioned off of getting all the stuff into a hopper right away that the piglins traded for, which backed up pretty easily. I lost a bunch of items over time. With this system, and now, I could probably actually show it. Okay, yeah, so if I put this in there, and how do I show this without... It's a pretty fast clock. Yeah, basically, that just gets dispensed. There's enough piglins in there that I never get gold overflow. Eventually they'll... Yeah, there we go. First trade goes, and once those items get there, they get tossed across the hopper lines, and if they can get picked up, they do, and if they don't, they go to the end and either get burnt or added to the overflow. So it's a pretty cool system, and it works. I think I got the hitboxes correct. It was tough. Designing your own farms is not a walk in the park, especially when there's definitely a much better way out there, and the temptation to just go look at somebody else's design is so big, Even about a stack of gold ran out super quickly, so where do we get all this gold from? Well, we get it from the gold farm. Wouldn't have thought that. Thought to get it from the diamond farm. No, no. So, we just got a bunch of platforms with turtle eggs. Zombie pigmen spawn, and they're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna go down there," and then they die. Um, yeah. um, a little. Oh, you're not supposed to be down here. So a little quirk with this whole farm design is. Oh no, no, no. Okay, I got it. Die. This guy probably has a bunch of blocks on him. Break the redstone. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff on him. They steal everything. They steal all your golden rotten flesh. So how do you combat this? Well, you put nether wart blocks on here. I think it was the only block that would have worked for me. I guess you could do glass. There was some reason why I couldn't do glass. I don't know what it was, but nether wart blocks, piglins don't spawn on there. Because, I guess it's just like, they don't want them spawning in the trees or something? I don't know, but they don't. So that works for everything, but that is, except for that obsidian block, which needs to be obsidian for the entire farm to work, unfortunately enough. A lot of my nether is just a bunch of farms, and this one is no exception. It's my frog-light farm. Put a bunch of frogs in a little place. Magma cubes can spawn. It's gonna happen. Is it gonna happen? Yo, it happened. There's a lot of them. And they just basically eat them. And with this farm design, you don't need to use it for long, and you'll have an unlimited supply of every single type. I never have to use this farm ever again if I don't want to. And I'll still have forever frog lights. Nearly 3,000 blocks away from spawn, we finally get to the Wither Skeleton farm. And they're already waiting for me. Wow, how nice. How nice. I don't think, yeah, they can't get to me. And I just kill them. Pretty simple. I flew all this way to show you this pretty simple farm, but the story behind it is much better than that. So, if I go through there, I die instantly and break the farm, so I can't show you the overworld. That's pretty cool as well. Going down here, we have this whole place. Now, what's this for? Oh, wait. Oh, I can't let those blazes see that iron golem or else the whole farm breaks. So, let's hope they don't. So yeah, you might notice that most of this place is already spawn-proofed. But I don't need it to be spawn-proofed. It's because I was going to do a different design, and I realized, oh, I still have so much land to go for this spawn-proofing. And so I gave up and just followed the tutorial. I think it's another ENX04 design. I'm sure you've heard of him if you've played Minecraft and made a farm. He's just, if you want to make a farm that's good, ENX04. I keep looking at the video time and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going on forever, but it's almost over. It's almost over. Over here, we have the beginnings of the dye factory. This is the modules for, I think, if I'm not mistaken, blue and blue. This one is going to be blue for light blue dye. This is going to be the blue for regular blue dye, I think. If I recall correctly, most of the parts of this farm are working pretty well. The only thing that's not really done is the bone meal delivery system right here, but the rest of the building isn't, the rest of the stuff isn't even here yet, so can't really be expected to put that in quite yet. Okay, I'll admit that dye factory was a bit underwhelming for the moment, but here's something that's not underwhelming. Give it a second, give it a second. This different render, since there it is. There it is. The Woodland Mansion. This may be the tallest woodland mansion I've ever seen. Maybe you've ever seen even, And I'm renovating it, kind of. It's gonna take a while. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with it, but I have a bunch of these guys saved up. I got 2 evokers and a bunch of indicators. Digging out this place, making it my own, and making them, I guess, my staff or something. I don't know. Who knows? But the reason why I'm here is not because the mansion itself is impressive or I've done a lot to it. No, it's about how my world is generated. Believe it or not, this is not how this woodland mansion was supposed to generate. I might show a screenshot of what it used to look like. And as you can see, it it's just a normal woodland mansion in this. It's the same one, definitely. But when I first generated this part of my world, it was the very edge of my render distance. And for a while, when I like looked at seed maps to find like what are they called? Ancient cities. I noticed there was a woodland mansion, but I was like, that's I missed it, you know. My world got corrupted, or I guess kind of, when I updated to 1.19. I did it on accident, and because of that, I downgraded my world because I was not ready for 1.19. So I had a few other things to do. I don't know what they were, but I didn't want to update quite yet. But I had by accident. I had been playing another server, and with 1.19, and accidentally logged in. And me being the genius I am, I downgraded my world, and it corrupted my world seed. So I'm playing on two different ones all at once, which is pretty cool. This over here is the new stuff, and that over here with the woodland mansion is the old stuff. And when I was finding those donkeys I was showing off earlier, I was exploring this way, right over here, and imagine my surprise when I'm chilling over here wandering, and out of the corner of my eye, I see that. I was pretty surprised. I didn't even think this thing existed anymore. I was going to end the video here, but I realized I forgot a few things, namely the ground farm. It works pretty well. They spawn in that box, and then they could just get pushed up to me, and I kill them. Pretty simple, pretty run-of-the-mill farm, if I do say so myself. And then here we have the museum project that we don't talk about, and some more spooky mobs. Oh, that is such a cool spooky mob. That's not a jack-o'-lantern guy. That's a jack. Oh, that's a creeper in the boat. It's also a jack-o'-lantern guy. Just west of the current jungle base, we have Jungle Base 1.0. What you think about it is actually Jungle Base 2.0, because technically my mountain's in a jungle, but that's mountain base. That's mountain base. Okay, this is Jungle Base 1.0, and it was abandoned. There's so much cherry wood here. Oh my gosh. A beacon. I left a lot of stuff here. Okay. Okay, I might have to come back here and grab all that stuff later. But there was a much different reason why I came over here, and that is because of this. About a month after I started this world, we got the sad news that Technoblade had died. And I thought, why not make a monument to him? He got me into playing survival Minecraft more, and I love it. He also got me into playing Skyblock, Hypixel Skyblock, which is another one of my massive time sinks that I like doing between videos. And so I made this, and yeah. This is the one of the smallest things I made here, because if you look over there, you'll see the giant sandstone temple. Yeah. That was one of his last Minecraft builds, and conveniently enough, he went off of a schematic, so I just kind of copied it. And yeah, I did use a general rule I have in my world is I don't really use Litematica often. I think in the early days I did use it for the Guardian farm, but that's because I was lazy. There's no other way to put it. But for this, it wasn't mine. It wasn't my original design, and I wanted to get it done, I didn't really want to dwell on it. So I just kind of got it over with. But I still got all these blocks in survival. And oh my goodness, it's so big. And finally, we have the end dimension. Yeah, this is the last thing I have to show you. And it's an interesting thing. So, a while ago, I decided I did not like my end island. So I got rid of it all with TNT flying machines. Because I tried to dig it out all by hand and explode it with real TNT, but oh my goodness, it takes forever. Um, I didn't do that. So I just kind of used TNT duping flying machines, which I'm not super happy about, but it is all gone now, and I'm not putting it back. So I tried to make my own custom terrain thing. I think it works. I would definitely do it a whole lot differently now if I made it from scratch, but you know, what's done is done. Will this island ever get finished? I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking a while ago, like I designed a new one. Still thinking I might redo it at some point. But also I want more Dragon's Breath. When I fought all the Ender Dragons to get, end portals, I only got a stack of Dragon's Breath, which is just not enough, you know? Unless you're like a normal player and never use lingering potions. Yeah, no Enderman can spawn here. I don't think. This little area over here, they do spawn in. Surprised there's not more of them. So that is gonna be the end of the world tour. You are safe to wake up once more. Um, you enjoyed your sleep. Thank you. Thank you for watching, if you did. You know, sometimes I feel bad that I play this world too much and I don't get high quality videos out every week, but, you know, it's all worth it for these types of videos. According to File Explorer, evidently my world is 39 gigabytes. But a few days ago it was not at all that. It was actually like 3.89 gigabytes. So I don't know what's going on there, but evidently, you know, evidently it just grew in size in 3 days. Probably just a bug, but and my world is about 4 gigabytes now, probably. I got a new PC a while ago, and I was able to better play Minecraft. I can live at 24 render distance most of the time, except for when I'm recording. But yeah, it works pretty good. And thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good day, and I'll see you in this world next year. Bye bye.